I'd like to call the meeting to order. Notice of this meeting has been provided to the public in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act by publication in the South Jersey Times and the Elmer Times newspaper circulated in Salem County, and by posting the notice in the Salem County Clerk's office and the SCIA offices. Copy of the board minutes and the video will be posted on SCIANJ.com. Please join me in the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Susan Bestwick.
Here.
Ronald Howard. Lou Schneider. Peter Borhos.
Here.
And Robert Woodfield.
Here, Mr. Schneider is at a pageant that he's available for phone votes at the meeting. Minutes and tab 1. Regular meeting of July 10th. In addition to the corrections. Take a motion.
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Solid Waste Division, tab 2.
Good evening, everyone. You have my written report in front of you and also the trending charts. I just want to bring to your attention just a couple of things. Landfill tonnage is down significantly from the same period of last year. I really think that's due to the fact that our larger customer with the walking floor tractor trailer really is not easily accessing the cell right now. But municipal tonnage is the same. C&D is up, and other tonnage is just down slightly. And that number for convenience cannot be right. But anyway, leachate is way down from last year. This period, the same time last year, we had 5.12 inches. This year we have 1.31. So you know what that means for leachate. Much less leachate to treat, which is a good thing. We love our new tank, don't we? Beautiful. We don't have to send out as many loads every day, so now we can have a static amount. It's a standard. We don't have to worry about up and down and having 22 loads go out every day. Any questions about my written report or the charts?
The topo completed, is that Trailers?
Yes. Yes, that was completed, and this past week I just got a little email from Mike Gershman from the DEP that there was a question about the calculated capacity, the calculated remaining capacity. So I contacted Freilingers, and Freilingers determined that the design capacity that was given to them from Sickles was not right, that they didn't go by the solid waste facility permit. So I got the permit out, we looked it up, gave them the new, the correct amount. I sent them also a copy of the permit. They're revising the topo, and I believe that they've already sent that off to Janice. And they're copying us, and then they'll make a new second page because that general notes section is like the legend on the topo that gives all the statistical stuff. We wanted to make sure that was updated. So it was just a miscalculation in the figures, and Mike Gershman caught that.
And that's the inspector? Or?
No, Mike Gershman actually, no. No, he's actually in the landfill division. He's not an inspector. He's not a solid waste compliance person. No.
Does that mean last year's will be wrong?
I'm going to look into that. I'm not sure. I'm not
maybe,
sure.
They changed it during cell number 8 to 9. But we'll see.
You want to look at it and
because
fix it before they find it.
the design capacity is in the solid waste permit. That is what the number they need to use when they start, and then they
Sickles
subtract.
that used the wrong number last year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to check on
I
that.
just check on it.
Mm-hmm. But we're not in violation or anything like that, so it's not any kind of an NOV or anything.
Well, this is the first year the topo would have included the expansion areas.
And that's the only thing it was.
Yeah, it's the brand new cell E. Mm-hmm.
But we'll check it in.
Was it in our favor or not in our
It
favor?
it really doesn't matter.
No, it's just not correct.
That's right. Yeah.
Anything else?
What's the savings on lease tank you think it'll be per month?
I'm sorry?
The saving for the new lease tank?
The saving for the new leachate tank?
Headaches.
Well, number one, we don't have to worry about 22 loads going out every day and somebody staying late and coming early to get those, out if we get a big rain. It's just a known fact now that we know we can keep that much in there and we can have 3 or 4 loads go out every day and we don't have to worry about it. We got to replace the stainless steel valve in the old tank because there was nothing in the tank, so that helped us to do that. Moody, do you have anything to add? Why that tank's a great thing?
Well, since you have so many more landfills, more cells,
We're just
that
gonna
you're
get
getting
more
leachate.
and more leachate going
allows
in there
you to
with the
collect.
new cells. They're like bathtubs. As soon as you turn those pumps on, goes right over there, so, yeah. They fill in so much quicker than the gravity-fed cells 1 through 7. Yeah.
There was a period years ago, I guess, when CNH, prior to this contract, charged extra for Saturday hauling or.
Well, there was a
emergency
little,
hauling.
yeah, there was a little period there
So-
where they were trying to charge extra, but it wasn't in the contract.
So that's,
And they have to pay their guys overtime, so that's a disadvantage to them if we have to offload on Saturday. We don't like to do that, but if we need to, if we're closed on Monday, and we get a big rain on Friday, they have to come in Saturday, because then we're closed Sunday and Monday, we'll be at the height of the tank on Tuesday. So,
What
yeah.
level you're keeping the tanks?
Right now, it's about, what, 60, 65?
Now it's 65, as low as we can, like,
Yeah.
like 2 feet or 3 feet. It's been after this rain, it just lifted up a little bit, but it's nothing a crisis or nothing like that.
What's the sidewall depth? You said it's 16 feet. How long is how?
Yeah, it's 14 and a half feet.
Anything else?
So there's really no savings, I mean, it's kind of a wash,
Well,
because we're gonna end up
we're
having.
saving time
Right.
and aggravation on our part, and aggravation with CNH having to get extra trucks at a moment's notice when, that part, we're savings in that, but going forward, we're gonna need it,
Right.
with each new cell.
Sheriff, I was just gonna ask you how you made out the fair booth.
Oh, we had a blast,
Good.
yeah.
It was the busiest booth in the field.
It was crazy, can I just say, from the first night to the last night, we actually could have won the award for the best booth in the whole thing. But no, giving out the light bulbs really helped a lot, and,
But that didn't bring people over because they didn't know about them.
Yeah.
They weren't
Well,
out.
after the first night they did,
Oh.
everybody was talking
Word
about
of
it.
mouth.
Word of mouth.
yeah, it helped, it did. And we just gave them out at, Saturday for Upper Pittsgrove for the HHW event too. And the majority of the people that come to that event are Upper Pittsgrove Township residents, but we did have some from other places, and they were very pleased too. And I did also give them out in Pennsville in the rain, when we had our Household Hazardous Waste Day there, and they were very appreciative of that also. So I don't think we're gonna have any trouble. I have another Household Hazardous Waste event in October, I have another document shredding event in November.
And they're
And-
both here.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I think we'll be good to go. Thank you.
And thank you. I happened to attend both those events, and you really do a nice job of those, and your staff.
Thank you.
The Limos report.
you have the report there. The only thing that's, remarkable to note is that we're working on the renewal of our solid waste permit. That's gonna be in by October 7th, with the expiration date of June 7th, 2015. And, everything else is pretty much intact. They did submit the quarterly report for the federal fire permit. That was the first quarter that was done. And, we're gonna do some modifications for data collection, so we don't have quite so much data for them to review, because it took them a long time to do.
You're still doing the 15 minutes?
No, we were doing 1 minute, but we were doing 1 minute data, and we're going to go back to 5 minute data collection.
Oh, there was an aerial photo of this. What is that?
The era photos, what they need to do the solid waste permit modification, because they have to designate where the tire chip pile is and where the down material is.
Or is it?
It's the one that was done last year, that they provided to Alema, so
But
they can
dated-
submit it.
Dated July,
They just send it to them.
just an old,
They just send it to them.
just a copy of it. Okay, there's some
Yes, I
committee
got it.
reports.
Yeah, the report's just from T&M for cell number 9 project. We've had 3 update meetings since our last board meeting there. The project is moving along very well. The designers potential layers for them. They're going to need to finish the grading of the topsoil material now, finish doing the inspections on them, and they will be able to accept the material. And they've got some seeding that needs to be done. So there's an extension request that I was going to address in my report for an additional 36 days. If the weather holds and if we don't get those torrential downpours, then we have to allow the water to be collected and pumped out of the slum. We can probably better that schedule, but that is what we talked about then, needing to basically get everything done. The pumps, not yet arrived here, but all of the other electrical panels are here. So their next phase of work is when we get the electrical panels and the shake pumps.
Now, you're gonna talk about that in your report, or?
I plan.
Okay.
Is there any questions about the solid waste reports, engineers and Melinda's? Hearing none, I'll have the reports received and filed. There's a transfer, and this is a transfer from special projects and marketing and sales, $80,000 each to cover material. This is, we have an extra cell, we have more pressure from the state to keep cover on them.
However, if I might, Mr. Chairman, I did cut off virgin cover material for the next 3 weeks because I have a large, slightly contaminated job coming in. So that will help us a little bit, but we're already at budget for the whole year for cover material. So going forward, you know, I don't want to be strapped and not have anything in that account at all. And yes, we've been using more because we've been under pressure to cover more areas, and also 2 cells that we're going to be doing here soon.
Okay, I have a resolution number?
72.
72. Take a motion to approve resolution of the Salem County Improvement Authority authorizing transfer of line items amounts in the 2014 solid waste division budget.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Description of that. Resolution 73, authorizing payments. Therefore be it resolved by the SCIA that these bills totaling $1,626,405.86 be approved for regular payment by check, and bills in the amount of $145,599.77 be approved by electronic payment, and bills in the amount of $34,156.30 be approved by manual check. Take a motion.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The one right here, check code, 329,000.
Which one's that?
Jessica,
Yes.
just because our equipment,
It's the bulldozer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Get out of the tab 3. This is 74. Resolution of the Salem County Improvement Authority authorizing payment of bills for the Economic Development Division. Bills totaling in the amount of $4,886.64 be approved for regular payment, and no check, no payments in electronic or manual format. A motion?
Move for adoption.
Second.
Any discussion? And that payment is mainly just to close out the strategic plan, the adjustments and revisions on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything?
The only thing that I wanted to, everybody is aware that we are beginning the budget process, and we will be setting a date so that we can have some workshops to do that. Debbie and staff have been working on that.
Okay, Personnel Committee.
I think it's the first study, how, meet the first week in September.
Pardon me? Oh,
Personnel Committee.
oh.
And there's the operator vacancy, there's one,
The vacancy still exists, but we're working on the internal.
How's he doing anyway?
Doing
good.
Just got one more step.
solid waste.
I was unable to attend that meeting.
Sure. The solid waste committee meeting actually was conducted while I was on vacation, but we did get a chance to go over the agenda and look at everything. And leachate tank, this is part of my update as well. Leachate tank 2 will be discussed. Our issues with the contractor in closed session. We do have some open remaining punch list item as well as a dispute over a change order that's been submitted there. Some of them are not already updated with mine. The equipment update, the dozer has arrived early, thank goodness. It has already been put into service, been inspected. And next month you'll get a resolution to surplus the piece of equipment so that we can auction it. Solid waste facility permit, as I said, is under modification and also for renewal. Operationally, I think as we delivered all the tests, as everyone else, like so, we need someone to put in service immediately. Linda's already been in touch with the permit writer for the DEP to pre-schedule her to get down to visit anything she'd like to visit. She has to certify the cell.
Well, she has to put eyes on it to certify.
That it's ready, yes.
Excuse me, not the permit writer,
Okay.
our permit, our landfill representative. I've been talking to her like every other day by email.
So she's ready to come down when we're ready to have
Yeah,
it.
she's up to date on what exactly is going on.
We have a few other permits, including our stormwater basin permit that's due to expire, and we're working on that renewal. That was actually already submitted to direct back in 2012. Methane gas collection system, still working with DCO Energy there. We're only about 3/4 with the gas generator out there. They seem to call for a lot. They want more methane than we're able to produce out of the landfill at the present time. We've got some modifications we're going to try and make in the header to try and reduce some moisture in that gas content. And everything on the DEP enforcement side of things has been quiet. We've stopped. Hopefully everything with solid waste, air people, and water people.
So the big meeting will do.
We'll see.
Anything new on hours?
Might just go right into my review.
No, it's on your, I see it's on the bottom of that solid waste committee. Innovation and technology, anything?
We
We
did.
have a meeting scheduled soon.
We did have a meeting with the community college to discuss their voice over IT system. We do have a beta test for the 3rd week of September that we want to run at both the facilities just to make sure we can connect both to their buildings and use the phone system accordingly. Once we do that, we'll have the final proposal from numbers. I expect to have that before this board by September. So Lou's going to have a committee meeting the 1st week of September, and we'll bring that out to the rest of the board September 11th at the next board meeting. There is a capital expense associated with going through that's what we need to change to rather expensive switches. That will probably cost us about $30,000 to do that.
Was there a market for ones we just got last year?
We didn't get any. No, these
Or
are
something
phone
else.
switches, those were computers. And then we'll have to replace all of our phone handsets. But it's probably going to be a lot cheaper in the long run than putting a new phone system in there.
Not so much cheapness, but they'll work better.
Reliability.
Mr. Chair, if I can just throw out there, we're in the process of using the encumbered funds we had for IT, and our new provider, Green Technologies, is purchasing switches, servers. So if I would suggest to you to throw it out there and at least allow him to give you an offer. Maybe we can save you money just through the bulk aspect.
Does that have to be an RFP?
No, it's a shared service agreement through the college, and as long as the equipment's on state contract, it doesn't have to be elected.
Okay, any question about the committee reports? Hearing none, I'll have the reports received and filed. Executive Director report.
Mr. Chairman, my report is before you in tab 6, just a couple of things of notation. We are expecting a payment from the County of Salem for our bond administration fee. I did speak with the county CFO, and it was expected by the end of this month. Relative to the horizontal expansion, the contractor did request a change order, which is a no-cost change order to extend the contract for summer 9 by 36 days, citing specifically the additional site preparation time that was needed for the clean water diversion and the additional cutting and filling that was needed as issued in the very last change order, and some other related delays because of rain and the rain that we got there. It is a reasonable period of time. I do believe, again, as long as the weather is favorable and we don't end up with a 6-inch rainstorm, we'll probably beat that September 25th deadline, but we are still waiting for the leachate pumps, and we are kind of at the mercy of the DEP to do the certification of the cell.
And there's no cost involved with
There
it.
is no cost associated with this change order. The roadway, stormwater basin, clean water diversion, and water systems are all complete, so if anybody wants to take a look at that, they're more than welcome to. They do have, as I said, the liner certification and final inspections, the sand layer, tire chip layer, topsoil, seeding of the site, leachate pumps, and the pump house still to be done. Our Station Road was reopened the day we did the walk down with the Township Committee, with their Public Works Manager and the Chair of the Public Works Committee. Artie Pearson committed to repair the curve between McKillop Road and our Station Road, and that was completed later that same day. And the Improvement Authority committed to regrade a stormwater ditch that had been filled in by some prior activities by a prior entity. We worked on that road. His folks completed that ditch cleanout last week.
And it's acknowledged by us and Alloway Township.
It's acknowledged to them, it's in the photograph, and I have written a letter back to the mayor. And that's pretty much the extent of the work that we're committed to do out there. There is drainage issues on that road, and when the project for Summer 9 is completed, Artie Pearson will go back and tidy up the road as it was in the same condition before the project started. But we're not going to crown that road, we're not going to pave that road, we're not going to do anything other than restore it to its own.
Now, they are requesting that we crown it more, appreciate more crown being graded back into the road. They are requesting that though, right?
Yes, and we did not commit to do that, because that road, as long as I've been here, has never been crowned.
And if you crown it, you're going to trap the water coming in from the farm fields on that one lane of the road. It's not a very deal.
Why would they want you to crown it then?
So we have more work, but I don't know. I don't know why they would, but it's just, it would be more work. It's not the way that, if they put gutters or something on the other side to collect the water, that may be okay to crown it. They're not, so it shouldn't be crowned. Now, on the end of the waste, there's a Salem City leachate study.
And that project is still on hold, so leachate tank number 1 is still out of service.
Where the results came back, were they okay? The lab results? It's not the lab results holding it up.
No, tank 1's out of service.
That's the Salem City leach.
Yeah. Title 5 air permit, prior to Saturday's household services waste day, 1,046 bulbs had been distributed for our special environmental project. We had about 800 that we needed to be distributed. The board has all received their board bulbs this evening, as well as any other attendees at our upcoming household hazardous waste day shredding event, as well as customers at the convenience center. We did provide 2 items which were requested to the DEP for the June 10th JDP water inspection. Those were all provided to them. By note, although we're not doing economic development anymore, the Improvement Authority has been recognized by the Northeastern Economic Development Association, first place recipient for this publication that was put together in conjunction with American Images Publishing the Economic Resource Guide, were recognized in the small and medium-sized categories. Presentation will be made at their annual meeting September 7th and 8th, and continuing to share information with the County of Salem relative to economic development and transition.
Very nice.
One item of significant importance is on page 2 of my report, the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission continuing disclosure obligation. There has been tremendous increase concern by the SEC of public entity bond issues, and it goes across the entire United States. They have pretty much honed in on New Jersey as one of the most egregious offenders, because we have so many municipalities, so many counties, so many authorities that are issuing public bonds. And they had originally set a July 1st deadline for all documentation for your continuing disclosure obligations, which are posting your audits and your budget and everything online, to be completed. There has been an extension granted through December 1st. And most public entities are being encouraged by bond counsel, their auditors, as well as their financial advisors, to do what they call a look-back audit, to make sure that everything within the last 5 years has been posted and has been posted timely. The deadline extension that SEC is given until December 1st allows you to self-report any late notifications that were made, and to accept a penalty without, a notice without penalty. Having looked back, initially we did a quick internal look back in 2008, 2009. There were some late report filings both on the county's behalf as well as the approving authority's behalf. And we would recommend that later in this agenda we have a resolution to accept your financial advisor's proposal, Phoenix, to do a look back audit thoroughly, start to finish, and bring anything up to speed that might need to be done.
Debbie, going back to the Economic Development Award, just because we're on the record here, I want to congratulate you on your leadership with that, and could you name the people involved in that?
Jim Smith, our Economic Development Manager, was the lead on that project. American Images Publishing was the one who published it, and then we also had 2 of our summer interns working on that, pulling the data together for us. Fazoli and Constantine Pagodas.
That's pretty awesome, winning the award for the Legion. That's really outstanding. I'd like to make a motion that we extend you to go up there to receive that award and have finances up to $6,000 to go up there and receive that award. Where is it, in Massachusetts?
It's in Worcester.
Worcester, okay.
Worcester.
I'd second that. Debbie, is that sufficient for you or too much, or what do you think?
It's probably too much of a budget for, it's a conference that they're having, and our dinners are being compensated. You would have to register for the conference and presumably spend.
What do you think a fair price would be for you to go up there?
I don't know. But I haven't really sat down and done budget calculations on that, but probably something if there's nothing that say.
I'll amend my motion to $2,000.
Not to exceed.
I'll second that, not to see 2,000.
What is this again?
Okay.
What are we voting on? What are we doing again? So we're.
The motion is to fund Debbie to go to Massachusetts to pick up the award for the publication of that report.
But we don't do, we're not in charge of economic development anymore. This is just to pick up an award, right? I mean,
Actually,
how's it gonna benefit?
We're
I mean,
actually
what's the
doing
benefit?
economic development.
Pardon me?
We are actually doing economic development. Nobody's home with the other place.
I would only say we were in charge at that time that we received the award, so I think we should.
Well, and I think it's great. Congratulations. I think that I know both those boys that worked on that as well. They would be, if anything, I think they should get a letter that says, and a copy of this that says, that they can use for their resume, because they're both getting close to graduating. And but unless picking up this award directly increases some sort of revenue for the improvement authority, they can send it. I just think that spending $1,000 to go up there and collect an award is not really necessary. certainly, letters of accommodation would be, would be ample.
Okay, we have a motion second, and going through some discussion. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2-2.
Mr. Chairman, you can't vote us into a tie under Robert's rules, so you'll have to step aside. You can say what you would vote, but you can't cause a tie. That's why we have an odd number of members on our board.
Well, I propose we put it off for one item, and
It's
we'll
too
call.
late, we
we'll
already
call
voted, and it,
Oh, no.
3-2, or 2-1, and it passed.
What do our rules say?
Well,
Doesn't have a majority.
I believe the rules say that the chairman is permitted to vote.
But not into a tie.
And you said Mr. Schneider is available for votes
Yes.
if needed. So that's another option that you have. Just call him before the vote is completed.
Well, it's really taken out of, it should be a new business. I should have held it off to new business.
We did.
No, I didn't.
Based on charge of air conditioning.
I didn't bring the rules with me.
You mind if I
I
could move, I could
move.
I could turn off the vent. Turn off the vent. I'm sorry. Just want to get you some exercise. Excuse me. It's a little stepped out. Don't break your finger. No, I'm good. Coffee's good. Plus I have mints.
Could you call Lou?
Sir?
Could you call Lou, if I give you a number?
Question for you then. Can he
371.
the vote already taken?
2401.
It's probably Worcester, but it's Worcester, I think is probably what it
It's already passed.
Well,
I have Lou. I'll get Lou on the phone for the next one.
That's good.
Can you hear him? Can you hear us?
Yes, hello, Lou.
Yes,
Can you hold on for a minute?
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
actually works.
Hello.
No, we're here. I'm just setting you down on the table.
the rules don't specifically govern this situation. They say that the chairman is permitted to participate in debate about motions and vote on motions.
So it's a 2-2.
It's not a 2-2. You can't vote into a tie under Robert's rules. That's why there's an odd number of members on the board, so you don't end up the tie. But Lou can settle this.
Lou, can you hear them?
I can hear you.
Okay. You might want to speak a little bit louder.
Okay, can we revote this?
Well,
Or just, we haven't continued, we haven't finished the voting?
Lou was not present for the discussion, so he should be, he was told what the motion was, and Mr. Chairman, it's up to you whether you want to permit the vote to continue.
Even though you can revote
Is there an
first.
objection? The chairman rules say that parliamentary questions are up to the chairman with respect to questions relating to order or procedure not set forth in these rules.
I've never heard anything like this in my life. A
Really?
vote being completed and then going back and said, we're gonna change the vote and.
Well, it's a 2-2 tie, is what it is.
And a tie is dead, defeats the
Well,
motion.
actually, under
So
Robert's
what you're
rules, it's not
just,
a tie.
you're just trying to
No,
find a technicality to get, to overturn that piece. I mean, it's not that big a deal. I mean,
Why do
it's,
you people think there's an odd number of members on the board?
we're not
Except there's no
denying that.
ties.
We're not denying that. But a tie means that the motion dies.
We don't have a tie. The chairman cannot vote into a tie under Robert's rules.
Well, but it does, we don't have that in our,
Just
in
because
our
you don't have it,
rules.
don't mean it's the law.
Those rules will supersede Roberts, trust me. Know that.
The rules do say that the chairman, in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order revised,
shall decide all other questions relating to order or procedure not set forth in these rules. There isn't anything in these rules that specifically say what occurs when there is a tie, or they don't say that the chairman can't vote you into a tie.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't object to have Lou vote and settle this, because I'm sure he's knows how much Debbie did on this, and would really appreciate going up there and receiving this award, a regional award.
Okay,
it's not a lot amount of money.
let's get Lou up to speed then. Lou, there was a motion to authorize Debbie up to $2,000. Can you hear me, Lou? Are you still there?
I think he's calling now.
Oh, boy. Is Nancy calling you?
He's telling me.
Lou, are you there?
You can put him on speaker there.
How do I do that?
Hang on, Lou.
IT. That you can't do.
Lou, can you hear?
No, I guess you can.
Okay.
Okay, well.
Let's see if we can get your volume up at all.
On the right.
Okay. Lou, can you hear us?
I can hear you clearly now.
Okay, why don't we use this? Can
Okay.
everybody hear this, first of all? I want to make sure everybody can. Okay.
Okay, Lou, there's a motion that's on the floor that I'm going to recap for you. There was a motion by Mr. Voros to authorize Debbie an amount not to exceed $2,000 to go to Massachusetts to pick up an economic development grant or award for a project that we did that won a prize in the state of New Jersey, or maybe even in the region. There's been a motion by Mr. Voros, seconded by Mr. Howard, and we're open for discussion. Whatever you have to say about it.
I sent the award, and I didn't know that we would be going up there to accept that, but that's all the discussion I have. We're going to vote on this?
Yes, we're going to vote on that. Any more discussion?
Well, we voted on it, but we're at a tie. So, and we have had some discussion about whether or not the tie means it dies, or whether or not it goes back to Robert's rules. So that's why we called for this and thought it would be best if we brought you up to speed, and then you can vote depending on how, whether or not you feel that this motion should pass or whether the motion should fail.
Yeah, it's at a 2-2 right now, and you're on the phone.
My vote would be against going to Massachusetts to accept the award.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. But hang on, because we'll just go into the new business resolutions.